Welcome to another episode of Not for the Weak-Minded. This is a update to my drawings of the Earth and trying to understand first of all where everything is, and then the mechanics of it, etc. Now, this all started from what you see in front of me, the Book of Enoch. And so, I am just going to zoom out slightly. I'm going to turn it over. Here was my first drawing. If you want to see it, it's under, I can't remember exactly, but to do with the Book of Enoch and the four corners of the earth. And so upon doing this drawing and doing a lot of studying to do with ancient literature, I come up with this. Now, there is a lot of knowledge and information to be known about this reality which they have not told you about. That has been deliberately, because the governments have kept that for themselves because they are controlled by the secret societies who have manipulated, well, at least two corners of the earth. And so they want to take the whole four corners of the earth. Now, the symbol I've just drawn on this drawing, do you recognize it? That is a symbol of peace, right? But it is a symbol of creation and knowledge that is associated with it, which can be used for good or bad purposes. You see, I was originally going to do the Mercedes-Benz time as time, because this is what we see everywhere. Signs and symbols hidden in plain sight. And so you know the symbol, the Mercedes-Benz. Everyone knows the Mercedes-Benz. And so it is a symbol of the Trinity, which is to do with time, the stars. And essentially, this is where we're gonna start backwards. I kind of think now, because now I'm going to have to show you all my progression to actually understand this, and then to try and do more to prove that the ancient literature is telling us the truth. So I'm going to zoom out now, and this is a culmination of drawings which has taken me, I don't know, 3 months, 3.5 months, maybe more. And up to now, you have seen all of them but one. The one you haven't seen is the one in the center there, and that I started yesterday, and it's nowhere near finished, but it shows me that the one I showed you in the previous video, I had to prove it, of course, this one worked. Albeit I had it the opposite way round. I had to remove it. I had to learn, because I thought they inverted everything, and so I started the lines from the south to mark the north locations, but it was not. It was starting the lines from the north and marking them off to the south degrees. So everything here is based on angles, and this is another key thing for you to understand: the origins of the 1,000 points of light. Everything relates to creation and them using this knowledge of it to lie to you with technologies, essentially. And there it is, a great trick. You know, hypnotherapy on steroids, what we've been through, to get us to do what we've been doing as a civilization. But I'm telling you now, consciousness is awareness, and you must be aware of the things I'm trying to show you, and go and look at these things, because otherwise there's no point. You know, you need to have a inner dialogue with yourself, so to speak, in your mind. Now, for years people go, oh, that's crazy, but it isn't. It's you trying to understand and logically think about it in your mind. And conversations with yourself is fine if you're asking questions all the time. And that is how you get to answers, by asking questions. So most people don't ask the right questions and then go look for those answers. And so this drawing, this one here, is perfect. Absolutely perfect. Obviously it's too blurry to show you the details. But over there, this is the whole, all of the states mapped. The Arctic Circle. I mean, common people, it's called the Circle. The equator is called the Great Circle. And you think, right, they use mathematics, so they use perfect circle to map the Earth. And so what I did was use the perfect circle to then map the Earth. Makes sense, right? I was just doing it wrong because I believe they had messed around with a lot of stuff, and then it turns out that obviously if it has to work, you know, it needs to work now. This is why a lot of people, you know, believe the lies of the globe Earth and everything spinning and everything else over, because it was created centuries ago, and most people, unfortunately, they don't go back to go forwards to look at certain things, you know, and the old arguments of and how these things came about. And so this is also to do with frequencies, and your words have power if they are directed with the right energies for the right purpose. Without doing this blueprint after the first one I just showed you, which is another video of mine, I couldn't have done the pyramid blueprint. And so this is the pyramids are obviously key to this as well, because obviously they've lied to about their purposes and what they were built for, and their locations to why they were built in those places. It has to do with our existence, and that also has to do with creation and maths, sacred geometry, and all the things I'm trying to show you now, and more some. So there is, in my mind, potentiality of 3 domes, and what I've drawn, it kind of fits. This fits this model. I've drawn the lines in so you can see it easier, but where I did this one above, so this one, again you can see it, that's where I plotted out and that's where I expected to be, but I did the meridians long because I did that based on using the ruler rather than angles, off 0. And so, but when you do use the angles correctly, you get this. And so what I'm trying to say is that albeit the flat earthers out there are speaking truth, that the land is very flat in areas, it's not quite that simple. It's actually got levels, and this has to do, again, obviously, with sacred geometry. And so the mandala is another visual representation of a frequency-based reality based on the sacred geometry. Sorry, it's all blurry. That there was my first attempt at it, and it showed me what to do to make this one. Albeit it's not right colours of the rainbow, because there's no yellow in it. I can do a better one, which I'll plan to, but it took me 60 plus hours to do that. You know, these drawings don't, you know, they take time. And so this one was a mistake. That one was a mistake. That one was a mistake. This one showed me kind of what to do. And then that one from that one learned out it was a mistake, which then led me to do this one, which then led to answers of how they did it. It was my own stupidity, really, overthinking it, to then know that 18 is a number for creation, and it's all based on the power of 3, 6, and 9, which is 30, 60, and 90 degrees, people. Just by the way, just so there's no confusion. So every time I was always getting there, but I wasn't quite right. Now I've got the answers onto this one. I did it on a bigger piece of paper, and so this is the result. This is the result of, well, let's just say the last 3 or 4 years of just dedication to looking and seriously looking at answers, rather than just dawdling around the edges of and looking at all there is to look at, you know, because there's a lot. It consumed me, just, you know. I spent a good 4 years unemployed, where I just spent on YouTube learning, getting myself, self-educating myself. So unfortunately, these time pillars, these Templars, have lied to you about everything, while they use the knowledge of all the things I'm trying to show you about yourself against us, in order to actually take over all resources of the earth. And so the war machine is going to continue, unfortunately. And so this is because we are not in good times. Death is just the beginning, but many people are afraid of the truth, because it's hard to hear that you've been lied to about a great deal of things and accept. But unfortunately, you need to come to the realization soon, because time's running out. We are in the age of Aquarius, not Pisces. What you put in this life, you'll get out in the next. Just know that you're in a wicked time, and that through programming of the television, it can get you to do horrendous things. So you must free your mind from your enslavement. your mental, physical, and spiritual enslavement. You must find out who you really are, where you come from, and what you're really made of. And unfortunately for you lot, the knowledge of that is well today hidden in plain sight, and that absolutely has everything to do with frequencies and the rainbow, because your body is made up of water, and through different colors of frequency, which is sounds, which is your chakras, when you align yourself with truth, you shine brightly, and this is how you get your halo. We are in the time of ascension, but it takes hard work. Just know that your whole life has been recorded, and that the meaning of God, to me, is something that they're trying to emulate today. By which I mean the singularity is an emulation of God, because that's exactly what my research has led me to believe. Now, I don't know how many people are out there that are trying to say the same things as, well, I am this danger, but they don't understand why they're doing it, because they're trying to emulate all what we are, all what this world was really about. And so they're trying to kill us, essentially. Mass genocide, not just of all life, not just of like life of here in the Western sector eventually, but everywhere else while you work for the people that are doing it. And then they got the audacity to put their signs and symbols in plain sight, rubbing it in my face particularly, that we're lying to you, we're lying to you, we're lying to you, because it's on the television, people. Propaganda. You must read between the lines, and you need to know truth. And so I'm telling you absolute truth here. You relate to frequencies. The earth relates to, sacred geometry, mathematics, and has undeniably got levels. Now, how this is going to relate to this drawing later on, we're going to have to find out. So if you'd like to see it, please share, like, and subscribe. However, if you've also watched this video, where the last one about this, 18 is a key number for creation, I still would like to computerize this because it's easier. So if you'd like to help me, I'm not in this for fame or fortune. I want to be infamous for destroying evil's deception upon your subconscious mind. So it's time for you to decide which side of the line are you going to live on, good or bad, because currently most people unknowingly are working for the wrong side, because they have lied to you about everything. I get knocked down, I get back up again. This is the result. Please share, like, and subscribe.